G'day everyone, subscribers, listeners, viewers, and happy Easter. Wish everyone, and I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful time with family and friends, because that's what it's all about. Today is Easter Sunday here in Tasmania, Australia, and this is my final review for one of my kits for John Moore's Operation Torch group build. Before I show my final review, I'd like to say a big thank you to John. Thank you for the comments, always been positive, and to my subscribers, thank you for watching, and thank you to some of my subscribers who've been leaving comments for me that are very encouraging and offering me hints and tips. Wonderful, thank you. So I'll get onto it. Just having a brew in my Easter AC/DC rock or bust new coffee cup. Because apparently my other one was too chipped. So let me have a little drinky booze here. No, it's definitely no Irish coffee. Anyhow, so this is the review coming up for my Operation Torch group build. This is my Airfix. Just let me take this off here. This is my Airfix 176 scale 88 flat gun and half track with Airfix Afrika core, modified figures, etc. How if you guys have been following my updates, is what I've been working on. Been a very big learning curve for me, this build, this kit. 1, it's armour. 2, it's figures. And 3, it's a diorama, or sort of like a base. Everything on the base I have made from scratch, except for these sandbags and a little bit of stowage in my half track. The ground was made from kitty litter, clean. And what I did with the ground base is that the kitty litter comes in like gravelly sort of stuff, so I went through and I picked out all different grades of kitty litter, and then I went through and crushed a heap and sifted it through a little sifter thing, which was an old speaker, metal speaker out of a stereo speaker, and added everything together. The cactus was made from the good old household rotten old sponge, which I cut into little pieces and used to glue them together to sort of make a plant with them. This here is old paintbrush that was laying in the shed from 10 years ago. It was completely stuffed, but the bristles, I've cut the bristles out of them and used them by getting them together, putting a dab of super glue in the middle and twisting them up. I sort of get a stem as well as the reeds, which are supposed to be like a deserty North African reed. The camo net was made just from some gauze bandage, soaked in paint and white glue and set into position, then wetted with just water on a brush to sort of get some droops in the areas where it was laying. I scratch built the table out of a bit of balsa and the field radio with the aerial, if I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little aerial there with the 4 prongs on top, the little German field radio. I made that just to sit on the table with the little earphones and the radio line. I got to use some of the helmets, cut off spare figures that I had, and a couple of KR 98s as well. The modified figures didn't come up too bad for the poses that I wanted. The surrendering guys work well on pulling the camo net over the half track. These two guys here, this one and this one, were originally going to be pulling ropes down, which I didn't bother doing because it looked stupid. They fit in quite well on pushing the rear part of the limber out of the way. I'll spin it around here. I got the commander figure, how I just had a vision in my head of a guy I've seen in the books once upon a time, might have even been a Commando comic, of this German looking over a valley beside his 88. He originally, I seen the guy had his hand on the, resting a hand on the barrel, but I couldn't do this with this figure, so I've got him so he's resting his hand on the brick wall. He was an easy one to modify. The guys with the shovels, moving some of the dirt and stuff around, modified alright. This guy here, pulling some rope, he was originally throwing a grenade, modified him. This guy here was modified, the driver, so he's just about to pull the bonnet on the half track, or whatever he's doing, checking the oil and water probably. Got the windscreens in. I hope the effect looks alright for where the wipers have been on the dust, and I did, and I know my camera's not good enough, but there is a bullet hole and cracks in that windscreen. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not, but yeah, there is a bullet hole in there. Then I thought to myself, I'll put a bullet hole there, why isn't there any more bullet holes anywhere else? But we'll put this down to a pot shot from a sniper from a long way away, so just add something a little bit different. The flak gun was weathered the same way. The limber was modified and painted the same way. Not too much detail on the limber. Was a little bit disappointed in some of the paintwork on the limber, but it doesn't look too bad. But it I might have overdone it, and I think I have overdone the chipping. So that was probably a main issue for me. As I said, all these rocks were glued individually together to build this part of a wall. Was supposed to sort of represent a corner of a bigger building, which is now gone. This part like a garden wall that was there or something. I've just seen some photos of Operation Torch on YouTube and things, and so it's arid, but it's not so arid. I should have maybe added a bit more greenery to it for what I could see, but I'm not gonna. I don't know what Tunisia looks like back then or now. And what I could see, there was varying different types of terrain anyway, and same with the tree. This tree is just out of my front yard. We've got a little bit of bushland scrub over the road, and stuff gets blown around, and this ended up blowing in the front yard. So I was out there looking for things, and I came across it, and I thought it'll do the scale, and I thought I could go for this one or a palm tree, but I thought I'll go for this one and leave it so it's dead and it's been damaged by the war over the years as well. So yeah, that's it. As I said, everything was bought, not bought. I've made everything because I copped a bit of flack on a couple of pages on Facebook where I've been doing updates, and people said to me, why have I bothered, why do I bother doing work to these old model kits? And the reason why is because I've already got them, and I think there's no use me when I bought this for $15, I think it was $14. I can't justify spending money on a new Dragon kit or something. I know they're very nice, but why should I buy something when I've got something now that to me, I've got it how I wanted to have it look. Like my half track's it's been in the stash for years, and when the torch build was on, it was something I probably never would have bought. And I know some guys out there do like all the modern day kits, but my channel's all about in my description is making the best out of the older kits, and a lot of my kits are old, and you'll probably notice when you have a look at. I have bought a few new kits to treat myself. Bought a couple of Mr. Schmidt E models in 48 scale, and I buy the Airfix new tooling aircraft because I think they're really really nice. But 99% of my model kits are bought second hand from a couple of select buyers in Australia, which is one's Model Nerds, and the other guy is Tony, and then Mark at Sprue Finders. I buy quite a few kits off them now because just the service is good, and it's also they have the decency of going through their second-hand model kits to make sure everything's checked. Because I originally was going to buy 124 scale trumpeter Hurricane North Africa with the Volks filter and everything on it, and for this group build when it first came out, and I ordered it and everything through Mark, and he sent me an email, and good on him. He goes, like I said, he wasn't going to send it because I was missing the canopy. How good's that? Otherwise I would have got a kit here, and I wouldn't have been able to use it. So if you're listening, Mark, thank you very much for that. So after this one now, it'll be full steam ahead on the Spit. And if I have enough time after that, I have got another little armour kit which I'm going to do a review on once I get my channel reviews. I've got so much to do, guys, so I apologise and stick with me, but I'm going to do hopefully another little vignette. I've got some figures left over of the Afrika Korps, and I picked up a really nice little 1/72 scale tank, which I'll do an in-box review on, which I'm going to build as one of these fabled green German army tanks of Tunisia or North Africa. Now, the first person who tells me what these special green tanks were that the Germans had gets a smiley face. A lot of controversy over these green tanks because they reckon they weren't. But there's many veterans to this day who are still alive swear that these tanks were green. So the green is a big controversy, and I've been sort of tinkering around at looking at that. So that's in the next channel, bit of an update. There's things like that. So I hope you enjoy it. I will be, hopefully, if I get real tech savvy, which I'm not, I'm going to take some photos and put them up in like a photo slide, get some good photos outside in the daylight, and hopefully they'll turn out alright with a little bit of music in the background if I get real tech savvy. So it all depends. But once again, guys, thank you to all my subscribers. I won't say any Cheerios to any other guys yet, but I've subscribed to some of the guys that are also on John Moore's channel, and I got the thumbs up from a few of them. If I've missed anyone who's mentioned anything, please forgive me. I try to get to everything that messages that have been sent to me. And another big shout out too is to a channel before I forget, and it was really really good. If you see the Rebels at Cloud9, just jump on his channel and have a look. He does some excellent work, and he had a really really interesting video of some B-17s that him and his father has built, and the story behind one of the particular aircraft that they have built. A very solemn reminder is all I can say. But till then, take it easy, be safe. Oh, before I forget, usually John's the man for chocolate, but guess what? The big Matt's got here. I got chocolate today being Easter, John, so I'm going to jump in on yours. So my reveal chocolate is the Star Wars. Well, look at the glare in that. is the Star Wars hollow milk chocolate decorated R2-D2 figure by Kineton. It's nut safe, no artificial flavours, and it's made in Great Britain. God save the Queen. And yes, Lucasfilm. So don't know whether I'll eat it. It'd be ashamed to eat it. Would be ashamed to eat it, but that's R2 as an Easter egg. So I got the chocolate in, John. So until then, guys, take it safe, model hard.